Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and today's Thursday, so we had another dev stream today, and they talked about a lot of things. Primarily gave us some sneak peeks of what the map is going to look like for the new chapter. In case you don't know, Jigsaw is going to be the killer. It's all but confirmed for the new chapter of Dead by Daylight DLC. We'll just call it Time is Running Out. For now, I don't know if they have another name that they're going to actually call the DLC in the future. But it was a very short stream. I think it was only about 35 minutes. And normally I like to condense these things for you. But this time it may actually rival that amount of time because I want to talk to you about some things they didn't talk about, which is the identity of the killer, identity of the survivor. I want to hear your thoughts. Who do you think would be the best characters from the Saw movie franchise to fill these roles? And yeah, let's jump right into it. Here we go. So obviously the most interesting thing that they showed on this dev stream is the maps, the views of the map. So there's no denying that it's going to be Jigsaw at this point, right? When you see this photo of the bathroom, it's got to be Jigsaw. And then they showed us I got 16 stills off of the dev stream of the new map. So here we go. All right, this is another photo of another still of the bathroom. You can see there's going to be a drop down through the ceiling there. This is part of the mannequin fab shop and you see the blueprints here on the table where Jigsaw would fashion the traps. This is more of an aerial view of that same room. You see mannequin parts in the wheelie bin there. Pallet, another pallet here. And there's a TV monitor. Some people had said, well, they wondered if this would be an entirely different game mode where the survivors would just wake up and we'd be playing a different game mode where we have to work together to try to escape. But when you see pallets and hooks in these maps, it's pretty clear that it's going to be your standard typical game. Is that a frozen person there? And this is a freezer area, walk-in cooler. This is the first image I saw, and it freaked me out because I was like, oh, it's going to be the pighead killer. Look at the shadow on the wall. But that's actually a shadow being cast by the pig carcass on a hook there. So this looks like that's a drop down into the bathroom area through those doors, possibly. We have tow motors around. It's a factory of some sort, a warehouse. The torture trap warehouse, I don't know. There is a bird, so there's going to be birds in this map. Bird there on the box at center. You see another bird here beside the blue barrels on that box. So there are still going to be birds in here. Sausage on the cardboard box there on the left. The mysterious sausage. Ace has a theory for that, by the way. Coming up. Stairs going down. So this looks like it might be a 2-level map, at least. Maybe a 2-level map plus a basement. Not sure. But I do like how they're scaling the maps upwards. And there's another person who it looks like, unfortunately, did not get out of the reverse bear trap in time. And I think we're back around to the beginning now here. So, I love it. I think the details they put in this map are stunning. Look at the design of the hook. It looks all like engineering and mechanical. It looks very well thought out. I can't wait to play it. And there's like stairs going up for like a raised platform there. I think this is going to be a 2-level map. I'm not sure how much of the underground is going to be in here. I did ask them if they could tell us how the size of this map compared to others, but there was no response on that. So we'll have to see once it's out how big the map is, how many tiles compared to the others. There's a camera on the wall. You may have seen in that other photo there were a lot of TV monitors. Here's another spot with stairs. There's going to be a lot of stairs in this map. Somebody pointed out to me that they said, wow, this map is not going to be great for the trapper because like, as much as the Red Forest map favors him with all the grass, it doesn't, from this view, look like there are many good spots to hide a trap. Certainly there's going to be the typical spots where you would stick them near a pallet and hope that they step into it when they think they're going to pallet loop. But it looks like the trapper might have a tough time on this map, just at a glance from these still photos. But we know it's going to be regular game mode because of the pallets. I mean, if it was a mode where we were all just working together to try to escape from traps, then we would have no need for pallets. So we're going to be obviously running away from somebody, and we need the pallets for that. So we'll just let this run through one more time. It's a visually stunning map. They've done a great job on it. This is a very interesting room. But we haven't actually seen, that I've noted, there's a locker. Haven't actually noticed any stairs to a basement area that I have noticed. Maybe you guys are seeing something that I'm not. And the vaulted ceiling in this, I love that. It's just got a great, great look to it. Great look and feeling. I can't wait to play it. And they did announce that this DLC will not be free, which, you know, we assumed that. I was never expecting it to be free, even if it was an original. I would have gladly paid for it. I don't know, some people, like, judging from my reaction, that was my raw reaction, seeing the teaser in the last video, and I saw the teaser. That was me raw. Some people thought that I was disappointed by this chapter, as well as the fact that we would have to pay for it. I was not at all. I was stunned. I never saw it coming. I never thought we would see another licensed killer until the autumn when the Halloween season kicked in. I was quite shocked that this was the next chapter. Honestly, I never saw it coming. I don't think many people did. There may be a couple people who thought that looked like Jigsaw riding the tricycle with the hand pose that Billy the puppet, I should say, riding the tricycle with the hand puppet gesture that Sarah made. But other than that, I don't think anybody saw this coming. It was quite surprising. I was more than willing to pay for an original killer chapter as well. I have no problem plunking my money down for this game because I personally want to support the game and pay the salaries of the people working on the game, because paying those salaries, it was what brings us more content. And that's my opinion on it. I don't care if we have to pay for every chapter going forward. That's the way I feel about it. But I know that some people were hoping that it would be free and that they wouldn't have to reach into their pocket again to pay more money to play new content. So that was like the look on my face when I was like saying, yeah, it's going to be licensed, so you guys are going to have to pay for it. Because they have to pay to get the license, so we have to reimburse them for that cost. It's just basic economics. So I was not in any way, shape, or form disappointed that it's Jigsaw or that we have to pay for it. So I apologize if my reaction came off like that. Okay, I think I've let these photos run long enough for you to see. So now we're going to move on to something else. Okay, so when will the release date be for this new Jigsaw chapter? We don't know. They said they were not going to give a release date today on the stream. And they led me to believe that we will not see it before the 25th of this month, at the very earliest, and maybe not even then. And the reason I say that is because they said that they're bringing in somebody who works for the company named Matt Walker next week for the dev stream, who's going to talk about how they are reworking maps and palette distribution for the entire game of every map. And the map redistribution is also going to come out the same time that this new chapter comes out. So I don't think they would bring Matt Walker in to explain the redistribution of palettes on maps after the chapter comes out, right? So if the palettes are being redistributed the same time the chapter comes out, why have this fella come in and explain the changes after the changes have been made? So that's why I don't think we will see the chapter and the new version of the game come out before Matt Walker has a chance to sit down and explain it to us. Now, for this palette redistribution thing, they're increasing the distance between palettes, and they're putting limiters on the number of palettes that can be generated in a map. And we're going to see how that changes the game. Um, palette looping may become more difficult than ever. I mean, I would believe that is the reason why you would institute something like this. I don't know why else you would put more distance between palettes and fewer palettes on a map potentially if it isn't for that purpose. So, killers, I know you have felt like you've just getting run around in circles and you're tired of it. I would believe this is a big step to you being heard and things are going to change. So hang in there, all right? Help may be on the way. So you might remember last week I told you that they're going to be sending out a survey for us to participate in. Once I have a link to that, I will share it with you as far as your feedback on how you thought the Winter Solstice event went, what you would like to see in the future, etc., etc. Krampus, Haggy Holidays, what do you want in the future for events like this? They want your feedback. They want to hear from the community, like a comment card kind of a system. And not only are they going to do this survey for the Winter Solstice, they're going to do this going forward for other DLC chapters that are released, including the upcoming Jigsaw chapter. Not right away for Jigsaw because they want to give us an adjustment time to figure it out, so we don't have after 1 week, oh my god, Jigsaw is OP nerf, and then they do, like they did with Freddy. They want to wait and give us some time to figure it out, like we did with Huntress, etc., etc., and then give us the survey and express our concerns in a constructive manner, and then they'll look at all of the comments that they're getting in from those surveys, and then the balancing can begin there. And I thought actually they were very genuine and honest that they may even feel like they had a knee-jerk reaction to the Freddy OP comments and changed things too early, which I thought that was a stand-up thing for them to say. So going forward, they want to include us the way that they kind of included us on the Wraith changes, right? So they had that one community forum where you could talk about how you felt about the Wraith buffs that were incoming, and they looked at all of that for feedback. So this is going to be just an extension of that and build on that to include our thoughts as the community playing the game and what we want, what we don't want in the game. So that, I think, is a great tool going forward, and we'll see how it works. And again, as soon as I know the first one of these survey links, I'll share that with you so we can participate in the Winter Solstice survey. And then they made it clear that one of the reasons, probably the main reason, that they delayed the release of the PTB is because there was some elements of source coding in there that could have potentially been data mined to leak out part of the Jigsaw chapter. So they decided just to put the PTB on the back burner until after the Jigsaw DLC comes out, which I think was a very smart decision. I can almost guarantee that the PTB would have been data mined and hacked and the info would have been leaked. It happened as far back as a PTB that came out before the Halloween chapter was released, and there were individuals who data mined that PTB and found the images of what Laurie Strode looked like and what her perks were, which basically blew the lid off and exposed that there was a Halloween chapter coming before they ever announced it. So that was a smart move by the devs to hold their cards to the vest and make sure that nobody steals their thunder this time, and that they are the ones to give us all of the images of everything that's coming out. So I applaud them, and I give that a stamp of approval as a very smart decision, so that we're all surprised. I want to be surprised. Don't you want to be surprised? So kudos to you on that one, devs. They said that we may see killer gestures in the future of the game. That would be pretty interesting, rather than the killers just having the shake the head no and the nodding, that the killers could become more expressive in game, which I think would be fun. That would add something to it. I'd like to see the killer going, yeah, come on, save him. Come on, save him by the hook. That would be pretty fun. So, no timetable on this, of course. It's just something that they're kicking the idea around in the future. But if it comes to game, I would certainly welcome it. I mean, we're supposed to be getting new gestures for survivors in the future. Why not killer gestures as well, right? And so for slides this week, they showed us some statistics on how long survivors are waiting for match times. These are only PC stats, so you console players are not represented in this graph by any means. I'm not even sure that I'm represented in this graph, honestly, because it says, okay, so what do we have here? About 2% of players are waiting less than 5 seconds to enter a lobby. Most commonly, people are waiting between 10 and 20 seconds to enter a lobby. About 32% of players, it looks like. And I, in general, am down here on the end, over 180 seconds, more than 3 minutes to enter a match. But I understand the reasoning behind that. A lot of times we have a widespread of rankings, and there's a 4-man group there. So when we have widespread rankings, sometimes it's hard for the game to fit us in to a specific match that fits our ranks. So I completely understand that. Your mileage may vary, but these are the statistics that were given to us. And then the second graph was included killer times to enter a match, which I was actually surprised to see that as many as about 9% of killers are waiting over 3 minutes to enter a match. Again, commonly it looks like about 24% of killers are waiting between 1 minute and 75 seconds to enter a match. So those are some fun little statistics. I'll let you pause the video if you want to study this further. But again, your mileage may vary, but it was just interesting to see average wait times. And yeah, I guess I'm not in the norm, but I already knew that. And they were asked, would we ever see another promotional item included in the merch store? Again, this is not in the Steam shop where you buy DLCs. This is an actual physical merch store where you can buy mugs you can drink out of in real life, hoodies you can wear in real life at store.deadbydaylight.com. It still boggles my mind that we don't have a link to the store in the game, but because there are a lot of people who don't even know about the store. This bloodletting shirt you see here was sold as a promotional. Actually, it was given away free. It was free as a promotional item with purchase through the store. They're sold out now, and they're quite expensive on eBay to buy because they don't have any more codes in the merch shop, so the supply has run out. They were asked, would we see another promotional item similar to this shirt in the merch store as an incentive to get people to buy real life merchandise, and they said most likely. So watch for that. Once I know about it, I'll tell you about it if there is an upcoming promotional code for the merch store. They also noted that in the patch notes for this upcoming build that is going to accompany the Jigsaw DLC, they are going to clean up the blinking of the nurse to make it easier for her to move to different areas, because they realized that there would be a clamor of nurse mains who were going, wait a minute, this 2-story building, I don't want to be shoved down and into the basement when I don't want to. I don't want to be able to go up a level when I want to. So they noted that they've cleaned up some of the blinking powers of the nurse on this map and in other maps, and they've also changed the key binding for the hag so that you don't teleport to a trip trap when you don't want to, or that you do teleport to a trap when you want to, instead of picking somebody up or breaking a pallet instead. So that's going to be a welcome change for the hag mains. Now for speculation about Jigsaw's power. What's it going to be? Okay, so we've seen the teaser trailer. Matthew hinted that there may be a spotlight coming soon. He said keep your ears and eyes open for more information in the future. We may see a spotlight coming around the corner. But right now, just speculation about what is coming. From the teaser trailer, we hear that the last generator is powered, and then the timer on the reverse bear trap on the table starts to tick. So what does this mean? What I have pieced together, along with the help of a lot of you from the comments, is the prevailing theory will be that Jigsaw's power will be to put a trap on someone. My personal belief is that some people think that we'll start the match that way. Similar to the way that the survivors wake up in the Saw movies. They just wake up and go, "Where am I?" and find out they have a device on their head. We could enter the match with a device on our head, potentially. It might be a timed game that we have to get out before the timer runs out. Possibly. More likely what I think would happen is that the placing you on the hook after you're downed, you get placed on the hook. That may in itself install the reverse bear trap on your head. Once you're on the hook, these hooks look tricked out and very engineered. It could be killer downs you, puts you on the hook, wham bam, you get the trap on your head. So, in the first movie, when Amanda Young gets out of her seat, it pulls the pin on the trap and the timer starts to tick down. Similarly, it could be that once a survivor is pulled off the hook with this device on their head, that could trip a timer for a reverse bear trap on your head. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. We don't know what it is. This is all we have is just theory at this point, right? The other idea is that the timer may not kick in if you have this trap on your head until the last exit gate is powered, and then you may have a certain amount of time before you have to get out, or you're going to be insta-downed or insta-moried even. Who knows? But that may make Jigsaw a very powerful end-game killer, because once that last exit gate is powered, everybody's going to be scrambling to get the heck out before their head blows up. So that'll be interesting. There won't be a lot of, well, let's wait around and make sure so-and-so gets out. It's going to be like, nah, man, I got to go. My head's about to explode. I got to get out of here. So we'll see how it all plays out. That's some of the theories that we've gotten so far. I hope it really is going to be more than just a trapper copy with Jigsaw walking around able to set traps somewhere. Another theory was that maybe once you are downed, he can put the trap on you once you are downed. So that would be good. I shouldn't say he, really, because part of this is me thinking that it's Amanda, which is a she, which, by the way, would be the first female licensed killer, which would be pretty cool, right? So he or she could place the trap on you once you're downed, and then will Saboteur have more of an effect then? If you're running Saboteur, will you be able to dismantle the trap off someone's head? Who knows? I do have a feeling that Saboteur will become more important in some way in this chapter. There really doesn't seem to be a need to have a Hangman's Trick perk in here to protect hooks unless there's an extra incentive beyond regular gameplay to put survivors on hooks. So if somehow Jigsaw needs to put the survivor on the hook to put a trap on them, then that would make survivors want to sabotage hooks to keep traps from being placed on them. And thus, in turn, the killer needs a perk to protect hooks to prevent them from being saboed. Make sense? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out, but I look forward to it. One funny thing that I did read in the comments that this really made me laugh was they said, "I can't wait to loop a puppet on a tricycle chasing me around the map." And then somebody else said, "Man, I'm gonna do wheelies and smash those pallets with my tricycle." That was pretty funny. The imagery of you being chased by Billy the Puppet on the trike through the game. Is that scary? It's more comical, right? It can't be that. It has to be Pighead. But the smashing of the pallets doing wheelies on the trike really made me laugh. All right, so that's my theory about gameplay. We'll see how it goes. I need it to be more than just a trapper copy, honestly. It can't just be like, oh, I came and touched this generator. Now when a survivor touches this generator, they are trapped and I can come get them. I'm hoping it's something else, right? It can't just be a trapper copy. I need a little bit more than that. So we'll see what it is. That's the prevailing theory that I've been kicking around with people. Let me know what you think. If you have some other idea, I'll be sure to look forward to your comments on that. Okay, so what do I think that Jigsaw is going to look like? Um, I don't think we're going to see Billy the puppet driving around on the tricycle, especially in this map. Did you see how many stairs are in this map? How is Billy the puppet on Earth going to keep up with all these stairs, let alone hurt anybody? He's a puppet. I know the Chucky people are like, oh my gosh, if they could do this little Billy puppet, we can get our Chucky or Leprechaun. And doesn't matter how small the killers are. Anything is possible. I don't think we're going to see Billy the Puppet. I don't think we're going to see a humanoid person with a Billy the Puppet head on. I could be wrong about that. But my gut feeling is that what we're most likely going to see is going to be the pig head version of a humanoid killer in the robe, with this wrist blade weapon that was displayed in the first movie when the cops broke into the factory warehouse where John Kramer was fabbing his traps, and he cut Danny Glover's throat open and then subsequently murdered a police officer with a rigged shotgun. All of this stuff that I hear about John Kramer never killed anybody. I'm sorry, if you set a tripwire set to shoot somebody in the head with a shotgun pointed down at them from the rafters, that's murder. So I don't want to hear about this John Kramer never killed anybody, because I think it's pretty clear, in my mind it's clear anyway, that that's Tobin Bell's voice talking to the cops with the guy who's going to get the drills in the head in the warehouse. That's his voice. So I don't believe that is one of his disciples at that point. I believe that's actually John Kramer in the movie. So I know there's people who think that John Kramer never killed anybody, but I don't happen to agree with that viewpoint. Anyway, this is the image that I think is most likely what we're going to see the killer look like in the game with the pig head. You could potentially also have John Kramer with his pig head off, hood up, hood down. Either of these versions would be possible. I do really hope that we see Billy the Puppet on the tricycle, or just Billy the Puppet alone in some shape or form in the game. I think it would be a travesty if Billy the Puppet is not in it in some capacity, even if he is just a prop driving around. Say you fix a generator and Billy comes out of some box somewhere rolling out on his little tricycle. I think that would be really cool. And then I guess the other option would be this red robed version of the Jigsaw Killer with the pig head on, which I believe is the Amanda Young version of the Disciple from Saw 3. If I have my lore right, I know there are many of you out there who have much more expertise in the Saw franchise than I could ever hope to have, but I believe the red robed version is Amanda Young, which Amanda Young has this unique position where she could potentially be either the killer or the survivor in this chapter. So for you out there who say John Kramer's not a killer, we need an actual killer, that would be Amanda Young would fit the role. Amanda Young, having survived the reverse bear trap and then turned into a disciple of John Kramer's to come around to the Jigsaw Killer way of thinking. She has this unique position where she has survived the bear trap as a survivor and then gone on to become Jigsaw Killer. She could fill either role in that. Okay, now on to the identities of the potential survivors in the game. So, okay, we said most likely it's going to be John Kramer as Jigsaw. There's only really one logical possibility. I know there were a lot of other disciples who wore the pig head throughout the franchise. If it isn't going to be John Kramer, then it would probably be Amanda as Jigsaw, because he baptized her and made her into one of his disciples, and then she wound up wearing the pig head outfit with the red robes there, as I showed you before in the other stills. And like I said, Amanda has the unique opportunity that she could be either the killer or the survivor for this franchise, which is fascinating. Wouldn't it be crazy if she was both at the same time? Both versions of herself? The duality of that, the entity brought Amanda in on both sides of the game, that would be messed up. I don't think that'll happen, though. All right, so let's start with Amanda. So Amanda survived her encounter with Jigsaw, the first survivor, I believe, ever from Saw 1, where she was able to get the reverse bear trap off of her head at a price, obviously. But she did it and changed her life, and eventually, as I said, wound up coming around, being baptized by John Kramer into becoming the Jigsaw killer. So other survivors, most notably, would be Dr. Lawrence Gordon. You'll remember from the first Saw movie, he winds up cutting off his foot and crawling away. And a lot of people think that the reason why they didn't want to show the tenacity perk icon is because it would reveal the identity of, it would have revealed the identity of the survivor as Dr. Gordon, and then when people saw he was crawling away with a missing foot, then we would have known that it was Jigsaw. I don't know if that's necessarily true or not. They may just want to protect the gender of the character. I have no idea, but he is a strong candidate for tenacity because he winds up crawling away, injured, missing a foot. So that's the case to be made for Dr. Gordon. Other characters could be Detective David Tapp, played by Danny Glover. You'll remember he busted into the Fab Shop factory where he first encountered Jigsaw, and ultimately he got his neck cut by the wrist blade of Jigsaw and killed by Zepp. Zepp was one of Jigsaw's first disciples. I feel like he's kind of an incompetent character, so I'm really hoping that it isn't Zepp. You might recognize this actor most notably from Michael Emerson. Michael Emerson, I believe is his name, from Lost. And what else have we got? We got this new kid on the block. I think he's got the right stuff. Donnie Wahlberg played Detective Matthews in more than one movie. So I think he's a pretty good candidate as well. Like I said, I'm not a big aficionado on the entire Saw franchise, so I think I've picked the most obvious characters. You may have some other ideas on who it should be. If I had my choice, I would either want to have John Kramer as Jigsaw with the pig head on, and Amanda as the survivor in game, or if John Kramer isn't going to be in Pighead, then I would want to have Amanda as Jigsaw, and then one of the detectives. It could be either one, either Tapp or Matthews as the survivor. I know some people have been saying that they would like to see a little more diversity in the racial makeup of the survivors, and the Danny Glover character would fit that role easily. Yeah, so I don't think you can really go wrong with any of those except for Zepp. I'm not interested in seeing Zepp at all. And then somebody told me that if you do a still on the teaser video, you see a face. So I'm going to show you what that is right now. This is from the teaser video, the still. You can see the timestamp here at 2041. And they believe that this is the face of the killer. Is that the Billy puppet? I don't know what we're looking at here. I can't really make it out. It's so grainy. What do you guys think about that image? Anyway, so that's the roundup for the potential cast. Did I miss anybody? Is there anything else that you think should be included in the potential cast makeup for survivor and or killer of the Jigsaw chapter? Let me know. Okay, I think that's all I have for you guys this week. Thanks as always for your continued support watching these videos and all of your comments. I tried to read as many of them as I can. And one comment in particular that really made me laugh was from the last video where I recorded myself watching the teaser for the Jigsaw trailer, and I was just like looking at the video going, what is happening? What is this? What is this? Look, just trying to drink in the entire video and figure out what was going on. And somebody commented to me that said, your reaction looking all around like is what every survivor who ever woke up under Jigsaw's power felt like. Where they just wake up and go, where am I? What's happening? That really made me laugh. So thanks for that comment and all of your comments. I really appreciate your continued support. Thanks so much. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.